Hello students, we are going to learn how to put the horizon line and rocks for our lighthouse picture on today, and I'm using a smaller piece of paper. This is exactly approximately 1/2 the size of your project that you're working on, so it's 12 by 18 inches, and I'm using a smaller one for two reasons. First, because it'll allow me to demonstrate this faster because it's half the size, and also because I don't have the bigger size already painted to show you what has to be done. So that's okay, because now you can actually see this better and not have to look at the paint. So go into your oil pastel box, pull out the 4 darkest browns. We got one that looks like it's almost black. We've got one that we'll call dark chocolate. We'll grab another that's called milk chocolate. And then we've got one that looks like a weird, ugly mustard color. We'll just call it mustard. All right, no judgments. Now, you can also grab a white. You could grab a yellow too, and I'll show you what those are for at the end. All right, here we go. Pause if you need to grab those colors, because we're gonna start now. We are going to work from dark to light. So grab that oil pastel that is the very darkest one. It looks like it's almost black. And we're also gonna start top to bottom. So we're gonna do the horizon line first. Trace over your horizon line with the very darkest brown. You might need to pause a lot because I'm gonna go kind of fast. You only need to do it once. Then grab the dark chocolate. Trace over that horizon line and your dark line with the next darkest brown. Okay, that's it. That's all you had to do for that. So see, that wasn't so bad. Well, the reason you used 2 browns is because you gave it a little bit more depth and made it a little bit more interesting by having different values of brown there. All right, great. Let's move on. Grab your darkest brown again, the one that's almost black. We're gonna trace the outline up our rocks. Here we go. Okay, now color in with a medium to soft pressure, just like you would if you were using a crayon. This is just gonna provide a base layer to our dark. Okay, once you've finished that, you're gonna grab your next darkest brown, so we'll call it the dark chocolate, remember? And you're gonna color over everything that you just did with the dark. Go over all of it. Okay, now we're gonna take the next dark brown. So this one's the milk chocolate. We haven't used this one yet, but we're gonna do something different with this one. We're gonna do something very technical called draw squiggles and squaggles. Okay, I know that's not a technical term, but we are going to make lines that, if you were going to name them, I would call them squiggles and squaggles. So here's how you do it. You're going to just color in a zigzaggy sort of pattern. So it just turns out like ups and downs, kind of like a wave. And all you're doing is you're just trying to put this lightish brown in different places, not all in the same place. I'm gonna outline over the edge of my rocks again too. All right. And now comes the mustardy color. Everywhere that you did not put that milk chocolate, you're going to put this color. And you're pressing enough so that your oil pastel is now blending all of these colors together. This is where oil pastel really starts to look like paint. And you don't have to be super nice and neat with this. That's the great thing about this. You can just be kind of messy. So I'm going in the in-between places, in between the milk chocolate oil pastel color. Even if I go on the milk chocolate color, it's fine. You're making new colors, and rocks are all different variations of color. They're black, they're brown, they're red. They're all different colors. I bet you've seen some rocks that are even unusual colors before. Now, here's where you might want to pause if you're not caught up to this, because the last thing we're going to do is just put some highlights on our rocks with some lighter colors. Okay, so this is where you get to make an artist decision. Do whatever you want to do. You can leave it the way it is right now, which does not quite, look quite finished, or you can add some of these lighter colors to it as well. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a yellow. I'll show you one way you can do this. You can go over some of the areas that don't look blended in, but this kind of looks like that mustard. So if you like it looking more yellow, then you'll like this option. If you don't and you want it to look more brown, or you just want to put in some variation, you can use the white. And at first it's going to look really white, right? And you might not like that. That's okay. We're not done. So I'm putting it over the brown. I'm just kind of putting it here and there. You can do little splotchy marks wherever you like. Then I'm going to grab that milk chocolate again. This is the great thing about oil pastels. You can just layer and layer and layer and just have fun with it. So I want you to just explore your oil pastels, have fun kind of mixing them up and matching them. We're going to use some decorative papers later. You could make some starfish covering up spots that you might not love later. And there you go. So when you are done, you have this nice oil pastel over the whole thing like this. And what you want to do is then glue your lighthouse onto your picture, and the bottom of the lighthouse should be halfway between the top of the rock on this side and the bottom of the rock. I'll move this so you can see it better. So this is halfway down. The reason is because you need plenty of space up here to make the top of your lighthouse. If you glue your lighthouse tower too high up, like if you glued this at the top of your rocks, you might not have room for this later. So make sure you glue this far enough down. All right, that's how you make the rocks for your picture, everybody. Good luck, and soon we'll make the rest of our picture. See you then.